Laura, Luke.
Hi.
Thanks for seeing us on such short notice.
It's not important.
Yeah.
We have questions about the fire.
Yeah, me too. There's suspects I'm short on. What do you know?
Well, we don't know much. That's why we're here.
Look, the case went cold.
Mac, to go cold, it had to be hot first. Now, why was it hot, and when did you stick it in the cold fire?
We checked the time, delayed ignition. It's household hardware. Nothing traceable. No fingerprints. Damage was limited. No motive, no one was hurt, no suspects.
Okay, let's take these one at a time. No motive. To hide something. You know? No one was hurt. Our daughter could have been killed. And suspects, you keep ignoring the fact that Scott and Baldwin showed up at that fire mysteriously, immediately after it started. I know, honey, just hang with me for a second. Now, while it's even a stretch for me to believe Baldwin's an arsonist, there are questions to be asked.
Rick?
With different... yeah.
Hiya, Bobby.
Hi, Scott.
Scott?
So, you convincing the employees they're gonna have a job next week?
Actually, we weren't even talking about the hospital. We've just been doing a little catching up.
Well, remember, Rick is out for himself.
It is so good to see you too, Scott.
Well, why don't you define good?
Having a great conversation with a very special old friend of mine.
Well, you seem to be speeding down memory lane with Bobby and Monica. Why don't you catch up with some of your other buddies that aren't associated with the hospital?
Scott, what are you doing? You're being a little unfair, don't you think?
I'm just trying to protect your interests.
Didn't Baldwin rescue your daughter?
He was the first one on the scene. He even beat the fire department.
Yeah, we've been over all of this.
Yeah, but you see, Scott didn't have any reason to drive by Mac's house that night. So all of a sudden there's a fire, and all of a sudden there's a Baldwin.
Personal vendettas are not grounds for arrest, Luke.
Well, talk to him at least. Bring him down here and lock him up.
I don't have reasonable cause.
You are afraid he'll sue you.
He's a lawyer. You bet I'm afraid he'll sue me. Look, I'm sorry. I really am. There's nothing more I can do.
The fire department's slow in getting to the place. The police department's afraid of being sued. What's happening to this town?
Luke, maybe you should go.
Oh, no, honey. I like it here.
No, listen to me, really. You and Mac have been at each other's throats for a long time, and I think maybe if I were alone, I could convince him to let me have a look at the evidence report.
Okay, that makes sense. Do what you can, and I'll see you back home.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'll get you a towel.
Oh, okay.
Laura. Laura. Okay, Laura, just take it easy. You know, you were looking at me really weirdly in there, and you're still kind of looking at me a little strange.
I saw you in the attic. You were there, I remember.
I thought you were over these dreams.
You were standing in the doorway.
Well, we used to go to that attic all the time. I mean, remember you had that curfew, and that was the only place we'd go. We'd go up there, and we'd, you know, fool around a little bit and listen to music and talk. That was our deal.
No, but this one night you were there.
Which night?
The one when it was raining, you know, the one I can't get out of my head. You were there.
That one rainy night, I was there. I remember.
Room for one more here?
Oh, yeah. Join us.
You're a little late for the show.
Show.
Oh, my daughter had her husband arrested. Stop.
That's rich. That's good. That's lovely.
I tell you, I think Carly is as much a handful to you as Laura used to be.
Now, what do you mean exactly by that?
Well, she just always had a rebellious state.
Like all teenagers.
Exactly, and I'm going to be late if I don't leave right now. Meeting. Bobby, it's been great.
Rick.
See ya.
Yeah.
Interesting little fishing expedition.
Yeah, he wiggled right off that hook, didn't he?
Well, maybe you were using the wrong bait.
Maybe.
Maybe we should give the maybes a break and you could deal me in.
Well, it's like this. Something happened in that attic over the garage in the old house where Laura used to live when she was a kid, and it was bad. Whatever it was, she can't recall it, but it's gnawing at her. It's eating her up inside, and I just think that Rick has got something to do with it.
And I just think you're leaving something out.
Well, maybe someone. Your buddy, Baldwin. My gut tells me that he's the key to this secret. So I just find it too convenient that he would be driving by when the fire broke out.
Luke, you're obsessing.
And you've got on those fuzzy pink blinders.
Scott is not that kind of a person.
Scott's 100 different kind of people. He's different in every situation. You think I don't trust him, and you're right, I don't.
Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Good.
Sure. Sure. Number one, I trust my instincts. I've been down this track before, headed for Scott, just headed for some kind of collision.
So hit the brakes.
I can't, Barbara. I'm gonna find out what happened in that garage that's got my wife so spooked. And I'm gonna find out where Scott fits into it.
Look, I can go over it and over it, and it isn't going to make any difference.
Well, it might, you know. Maybe we can fill in some of the gaps here. Okay, so you remember some people there? There was a light in the attic?
Right. I went up the stairs. The door to the attic was shut. I heard a woman moaning. I pushed the door open, and the lightning flashed, and for a second I could see my own face in the mirror. And then I looked over, and on the couch I could see there was a woman with red hair, and I could tell that she had bare shoulders, and she was with someone. A man.
Did you recognize the woman or the guy? I mean, who were they?
I don't know. That's as much as I've been able to remember. Until just now, when I saw you in the police department, and then it hit me that you were there. I mean, I saw you. You were standing in the doorway. You're soaking wet and calling my name. Come on, Scotty. I know you remember. I know you do. Now, why won't you tell me? Are you trying to hide